欢迎来到这个短节目 where we talk about one incredibly frustrating or pretty interesting thing about learning Chinese. 我叫 B, and I'm so glad to have all of you here. The word of the day is kai. Kai is a word that you'll probably encounter pretty early on in your Chinese studies. It's first introduced in chapter 14 of HSK1, and it's one of those words that not only has a pretty decent amount of definitions tied to it, but it also combines with other characters to make new words. To open, to start, to operate. 开始 is to start or begin. 开发 is to open up for development or to develop. 开展 is to launch or to start up, whereas 开放 is to open up emotionally or in a figurative sense, to be open-minded, to be unrestrained by traditional convention. To boil. Wait, what? To boil? Oh, okay. Hold on a second. How does to boil fit in here? All of the other definitions have this idea of opening up something, developing something, starting something, whether literally or figuratively. To operate a car is essentially turning it from an off state into an on state, to open it up. And that open up nuance is also present in some of its compound forms. To open up for development or to launch something, to be open-minded or unrestrained. So then how in the world does boil make sense? You're not opening or starting up the water. There's no mechanisms to start or thoughts or ideas to develop. It's water in a pot, waiting for some delicious ramen to be poured in. Now, this interesting definition of kai isn't given to you right off the bat. I was only recently just introduced to it, but it took me a while to figure out what was going on. And I asked one of my friends who's a native speaker, and he's just like, well, to us it makes sense. And as I was pressing him further, because again, this concept of opening water made absolutely no sense to me, he's just like, well, when you boil water, gas bubbles escape, so water is opening up. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Chinese is using the scientific definition of boiling to justify this usage of kai, although language is regularly counterintuitive and doesn't even follow its own rules at times. According to the scientific definition, boiling is a phase transition from liquid to a gaseous state. As a liquid boils, bubbles form in the water, which is actually just water as a gas or steam. They float to the surface and open out from the water into the air. It's going from a liquid off stage to a gaseous on stage. It's like there's these little gas particles just trying their best to make it out in this cruel world, reaching that critical point, hitting the surface and opening out, saying, look out world, here I am. That's pretty inspiring. Now, I have absolutely no idea if this is the actual reasoning for this definition. There's tons of words that don't make sense because that's just language. It's made by people, not by machines. Things change, and sometimes you get weird little definitions like this one. Am I the only one that had a challenging time with this definition of kai? Are there other words that have a similarly wacky definition? Let me know in the comments below. But if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I hope everyone has a lovely rest of your days and hope to see you next week.